welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Match preview, Manchester United versus Everton. Can Manchester United add another 3 points to help cement their top 4 position and add more pressure onto Everton's survival hopes in the Premier League? Your overall thoughts going into this one?
Well, Everton, for a start, should have been relegated last year. They're struggling again. But I actually think they're under a good manager now, but they're going to get beat against United without a shadow of a doubt. Honest to God.
I didn't expect anything less from you.
No. Well, you know, ever the optimist. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But I've got to give it the way United played against Brentford, and more in particular the way Brentford played. I see Everton in a similar style, getting men behind the ball and at some point coming out. But United seem to flow. Seem to get it together against Brentford, and I think they will turn Everton right over. I think the pressure coming to Old Trafford is tremendous for them, and I don't think they'll be able to get it. They don't seem to have the strikers. United can score. There's a few people what can score. Rashford's always scoring, as we know, but I honestly believe that Everton will fold at Man United, and it's always a tough game against Everton. But I just think coming into this game, United now are going to cement a top 4 place. They've had they've been up and down, United, recently, right? And we've all been on a bit of a downer. But I do think the Brentford game has give United a boost. It's give the fans a boost, and I think Old Trafford will be rocking at 12:30 against Everton. Always is big game, always tough game. But I do think the pressure is too much for Everton. Sean Dyche has got it all to do.
Yeah, no, I do like Sean Dyche, I've got to admit. But do you not think Everton will look at maybe Brentford's first half performance against Manchester United? Because I'm sure Brentford would have come away from Old Trafford the other night and thought, if only we'd have give it a go in that first half, because I was a bit disappointed with Brentford. He expected more from him to come at United.
You can only, listen, when you get beat, you say to yourself, we should have give it a go. Everton will give it a go, but they'll give it a go at certain times. But United's midfield, the way they played, the way the whole team got together, I think they're going to be way, way too strong for Everton. Yes, they will give it a go, but the weak up top, that's why they're in the position they're in, because they were not scoring goals. They weren't good enough. The effort weren't good enough. Yes, they're having an effort now, but it's an effort where it's all about defending and trying not to concede goals, trying to hold the midfield. United will break, get the chances and score the goals. That's how it's going to be. That's how I see it. Once Brentford, for instance, they came out, United controlled the midfield. Everton, if they do the same, United will control the midfield. I mean, they've got a good player who was sent off the other night. He's missing.
Decore.
Yeah, Decore. So they're weakened in that position. They haven't got the class, I don't see, of beating our back 4, getting behind them. You've got Varane, Martinez, who are on form. They've not got the strikers. Calvert-Lewin, he's been missing for a long time. And I think, to be honest with you, if I was an Evertonian, I'd just forget all about him in the future.
It's like he's more interested in a modelling career
well,
than he is
you know,
on football pitch. But do you not think that they've shown some energy in midfield, though, the other night against Tottenham?
Oh, listen, they've shown energy ever since Dyche has got there. And anyone out there who knows Sean Dyche would have been surprised if you hadn't seen Everton regroup. You know, they are there. It will be a battle. But the thing is, I think United's class will overtake them. And I think the pressure of trying to come away from Old Trafford, not getting beat, will be too much for them. Yeah. They will try and score goals, obviously, right? But I think it will leave them open. I think United's class will shine through. And United, the way they kept the ball, the way they passed, the way they worked together the other night against Brentford, I think that was a great time for us, especially after the Newcastle game, to show that we're back. And Everton, they've looked at that. There's not really that much weakness there. I can't see them getting a win.
Yeah, no, I did watch them the other night, like we've just discussed, against Tottenham, and they did show energy in that midfield. They look a lot more compact under Dyche. And to be fair, they did play some good football at times, and I do like that lad in the centre of the midfield for them, that Onana, and I think he's going to be key for them in keeping out goals and stopping our midfield. Now, does Ten Hag put Bruno back into that number 10 position, put Sabitzer back into midfield, or would you leave it how it was against Brentford the other night?
I'd leave it exactly how it was. Yeah. I thought they looked fresh, they looked bright, they look eager. No, I don't see why you should change it. And Ten Hag, really, is he going to start changing a winning side? It's not like him. You don't really see it when you look back at what he's been doing with the team and how he moves it and positions and changes. Not really. He don't really love to tinker. So it's up to the players, what were out on the pitch against Brentford, to turn up and really cement the place. And it's a good battle for Sabitzer to try and impress. He's got to impress me because I've not really seen too much from him. So getting a couple of games, getting a couple of starts and going for it, a good chance for Sabitzer. I hope he does it.
Yeah, no, of course, we all hope he can do it and hopefully create some chances for our forwards as well. Now, obviously a big talking point out there, Martial got some minutes the other night against Brentford. Surely he's got to start because we've only scored 1 goal in the last 3 Premier League games and we need goals for this one.
Listen, you've got to have Martial up there and you've got to have Rashford up there. You've got to have people who want to score goals. And against Everton, it's no good just having Rashford up there, who's our goal scorer. Martial's got to start. And I've said it time and time again, when Martial does start, he is a danger in that box. When he gets the ball outside and he comes running in at you, he creates havoc.
It's frightening.
It's frightening. So at the end of the day, they will be struggling at the back, Everton, if we've got the right strikers. And with Anthony out wide, if he's picked, he keeps hold of the ball and he brings players into the game. He's done it the other night against Brentford. So that's the attacking lineup. And to be honest with you, I think they'll be on fire.
Yeah, Luke Shaw did come off the other night against Brentford.
Yeah.
No updates on his injury, how serious it is, or if he will make the starting 11 against Everton. But would you be too worried about Malacia coming in? I thought he had a decent game when he came in.
No, I never have worry about Malacia. Malacia's got the enthusiasm and we can all see that. I've no worries whatsoever. I think it's just a straight swap. Obviously, he got took off as a precaution, updates later on and that. But what I'm looking for is to see if Eriksen's back in the side. And to be honest with you, I don't think Ten Hag will make a decision on that till late Friday night. He might make the squad.
Yeah.
Might make the bench, but I want him back. We need him back. And at the end of the day, Casemiro, for the next game, after the Everton game, will be back. So with them two, right on the edge of coming back, I see big things here going forward.
Yeah, hopefully he can be in the matchday squad. And if we are in a comfortable winning position, bring Eriksen on. Let's hope for 20 minutes towards the end.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Going into next week's game, got a big game against Sevilla, Nottingham Forest as well. So it'd be good to see Casemiro and Eriksen back in that centre midfield together. Anything to add on the video before we go?
I just think what I see with Everton is a fighting quality, and that's what you've seen over the last 4 or 5 games with them. But to be honest with you, I think they're very lucky at this moment that there's some very poor sides down there because, to be honest with you, I think they'd already be relegated. There just seems to be a lot of poor sides down there what have given them a chance. But to be honest, they've had too many chances, in my opinion, not to avoid, and they're going to go down. The club's in a mess. I mean, that's not to do with the fans or anything, but I think a lot of players have deserted Everton Football Club on the pitch. I think a lot of managers have let them down, and in a twist, I think it'd do them good going in the Championship. They've got the right manager for the first time for a long time. So if they do go down, I've actually got no worries for them coming up. So let's just thrash them, send them down, right, and United get a top 4 spot. But hey, Everton, I won't be too disappointed if you do get relegated.
Yeah, I can't see Everton fans agreeing with that.
No, they won't agree with it. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at it from a United point of view.
Well, yeah.
You've been very, very, very lucky not to already have been relegated. And the players, what you've bought and everything else like that as a football club, you've been in total disarray. And the manager, what you've got now, right, needs to consolidate in that Championship and get relegated with them. Yeah. It's not his fault, but that's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Down you go.
Yeah, I can't consolidate in the Premier League. Tony wants you to go down first, then come back up. And like I say, I'm not too sure Everton fans would agree with that.
Well, they wouldn't give us anything, would they?
No one
Right,
gives
so
anything
get
to
down.
Manchester United.
So
Everyone hates United.
down you go. Do you know what I mean? I know you Everton fans, you hate United. So I'm just giving you a bit of realistic. You should have gone down a long time ago. So I hope United give you a bit of a help on the way.
Yeah, I think for this game as well, though, I think, they will be looking at set pieces. I think Scott McTominay and Varane, I think they're our best players we've got in defensive situations, in defending set pieces. So hopefully them two will start, which I think they will do. So I think them two will be key because they will be looking at trying to create chances from set pieces.
I know.
And scoring goals, Everton.
I know going on about Everton going down, and that's just me being an old sod, right? Going on about them. But the thing is, what I do worry about Everton, the one thing I do worry about Everton is I think they'll target Bruno, and I also think they'll target Anthony. Anthony has a little bit of a fuse in that, and I think the way Sean Dyche plays and the way he has the tactics, tough, get stuck in, I think they will look at them two and target him.
To be honest with you, I actually forgot to mention it earlier on, and now you've just reminded me. On Bruno, had a decent game against Brentford the other night, dropping off into the left back position in front of the centre half, trying to dictate the play. But I just think with Bruno in that position against the bigger teams and teams with energy in that midfield, I think his discipline could become a problem. And I don't just mean that with his tackling and his arm throwing and all that sort of stuff. I mean in terms of tracking runners. I'm not too sure whether he's up to that standard where he can produce that in the midfield area defensively. But hopefully I'm wrong. And against Everton, he's going to show something where he's going to grab it by the scruff of the neck and control that midfield if he is in there.
Well, Sean Dyche, you look at him, he knows what it's all about. And he will pinpoint something. And like I say, my big worry is if they pinpoint Bruno and he goes on with himself, and if they pinpoint Anthony and he has that little bit of a snap in him, I think, that's the one thing we've got to worry about. Everything else, I'm not too concerned about because I just think United will control the game and just take it to him. And I think it'll be a high-scoring game for United, to be honest with you. I think it will be 3-0.
I was just going to say what
it
would be. Yeah, about
3-0 I go for.
3-0.
Come on.
I'm going to go with a... Sorry, 2-1. I'm going to go 2-1.
2-1?
Yeah, 2-1.
Anthony Martial's going to get 2. Come on.
Fair enough. Take 2. We're going to wrap it up this time.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Smash a like if you've enjoyed the video. Let us know your comments and opinions on this game, your starting 11, your result prediction as well. And yeah, if you've not already subscribe if you want to see future content, and press that notification bell because we'll be back on Friday with our latest roundup of the Manchester United news. Enjoy your Thursday and we'll see you again Friday. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.